Hey folks, time for another update. So my computer's up and running now. It's going to take me a while to get everything installed and set up. Get to play catch up again. I haven't even caught up since the issues I had in Wingham. I keep getting setbacks. So I couldn't switch the power supplies around. I couldn't take the power supply out of my old computer to use with the new one, and I'm pretty sure that's what the issue was, the power supply. It won't even try to turn on now. It kind of got worse and worse, and now there's nothing. So I'm pretty sure that's what the issue is. But I can't change power supplies because the one in this computer, it's got a bunch of little plugs, different places on the motherboard, and the one out of my full-size computer has one big plug. So not compatible that way. I thought they're all universal, but apparently not. So what I tried to do is, the only thing that was wrong with that computer was the hard drive failed in it. Because remember, it was a tower, it was a full-size computer, but it had a laptop hard drive in it, which didn't impress me. So I thought, okay, this one, it's already got the operating system on it, everything's good to go. I just got to, put it in this new computer and probably have to update a couple things or something. So I put it in, and nothing would happen. And it would find in the biosphere, I went through the boot order, so I made sure, the hard drive was detected, it was on the list, and I made sure it was pointing at that. It didn't make any difference. It would find the hard drive, but it would not find the operating system. So I get pretty frustrated. So the next day, I wanted something, because, like I say, I spend all my day in bed. My computer is all I have. I got nothing else to do, and I hate doing stuff on my phone, because it's too small for me, for my eyes, and especially trying to type, these tiny little. So I had to have something, just even, if I don't have everything that I normally do, as long as I can do something, right? So the next day, my computer's supposed to show up. And for the first time, I got a map from Amazon showing where the driver is. I get that when I order groceries. I can see where, once the person has finished shopping and they're on their way, they show up on a map. It shows my location, and it shows where they are, and I can follow updates every couple seconds or whatever. Well, Amazon's doing that now. I don't know how long they've been doing it, but that's the first time I've noticed. So the map pops up, shows their location. They're in Mount Forest, which is like 20 minutes away, and it says 10 stops away. So I'm watching it. He's moving around Mount Forest, 9 stops, 8 stops, 7 stops, and it gets to, you're the next stop. I'm thinking, yay. But then the driver stops moving, sitting in the same place for about 10 minutes. And I'm thinking, what's he doing, stopping for lunch? Because I'm waiting, right? I'm anxious to get this. Then I get a phone call. The driver tells me he can't deliver my package because it's not on his route. So you can imagine what's going through my mind at this point. I was not happy. I said, I'm supposed to get this today. I says, I absolutely need it. I said, every hour that goes by, I'm getting farther behind, right? Oh, he can't deliver it. Okay. So I asked him, I says, are you delivering for Amazon, or are you an independent company? He's delivering for Amazon directly. So I called up Amazon, and I explained my situation, and and he says to me, just to be sure, it's not the driver's fault. I said, well, I know, but he's 20 minutes away. Why can't they make a detour? It's on their truck. It's supposed to be delivered today. I need it today. And he knew I wasn't happy. I didn't swear. So he says, well, they're gonna, once it gets back to, he's gonna put, I can't remember what he said, emergency delivery on it or something. So once it gets back to Kitchener, there's a chance that they'll send it out again specifically for me, which didn't happen. So he says you'll get a phone call from them, from the carrier facility, and I'll explain everything from there. So I get this Indian lady that's talking so friggin' fast, I can't understand what she's saying. But she said there's a problem with my address. I said, what problem? And she asked, is it an apartment building? I says, well, it is, but it's all one apartment. And she asked, because I've got my street address, dash, and then my post office box number. That is what the post office requires of us, because we don't have door-to-door delivery here. And not everything, not everything will deliver to a post office box through Amazon. So even if I have my street address and my post office box number as a second line, as soon as their system sees post office box, can't deliver to that. It doesn't matter if my street address is there or not. So what the post office asked us to do, because we can't get stuff sent to the post office box with just our street address on it. So that's how she told us to do it. That's how I used to do it in Wingham as well. Street address, dash, post office box number, and then, everything else. Well, she said the driver must have been confused or something because it's an improper address. I said, no. I said, first of all, this has never been an issue before. And second, he was never here. He wouldn't even know the difference. He called me himself from Mount Forest and said it's not on his route. It's got nothing to do with my address. So apparently bottom line is it was put on the wrong truck. So I was pissed. I was absolutely pissed. So then a little while later, I looked because, like I said, there's a chance they might still deliver. I told the guy, I said, I don't care if it's 10 o'clock tonight when it shows up. I need it today. So I'm watching my listing and I see problem, or a delivery attempted, problem with address or something. So I called Amazon up again. He said there is no issue with the address. The delivery was not attempted. He told me it was on the wrong route. He was never here, right? I was like, so I got the same thing again. So it showed up the next day. So I'm watching, and he's way up on Gory Line, 9 stops ahead of me. I watch, comes into town, goes over towards Home Hardware, comes down one of the side streets, goes back up to the highway over to this side, and then starts coming down my street, and then he goes back here a few times, and it finally showed up. So, got the new computer, starting to get everything put in, and I get to the point where I can start taking my files off the hard drive out of that computer. So I hook it up, and well, first of all, the computer's supposed to have 2 1 terabyte hard drives inside it. But I figure it's just one hard drive and it's partitioned, right? Because one of them's got a C drive and the recovery operating system on its own separate partition, and then this other 1 terabyte hard drive that's got all my backup files on it. So I hook it up and all I'm seeing is my backup files. I'm thinking, where's everything else, right? So I took everything off and I got thinking, it's only 1 terabyte and I was supposed to have 2 1 terabyte hard drives. There must still be another hard drive inside that computer. So I open up again and there's nothing. The only thing that's in there is the disk drive, like the CD drive, DVD drive. Oh, what the heck?
Wes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought I left the door open.
Okay. So I get looking around, And I'm looking at the motherboard. I said, is it possible the C drive is on the motherboard itself? I've never heard of that before.
Oh, there you are.
Yep, here I am.
How's your computer going?
It's going. It's working. I'm just
Still
working
putting
on.
everything back?
Yeah. Playing catch up again. Okay, I just paused there because I knew I was going to get interrupted. So, I get looking around at the motherboard and I see a couple of things I've never seen before. And I see this long skinny thing. I don't know how well you can see that. Probably not very well. There we go. That apparently is my C drive. So it's plugged in. It's got like pins on the end of it, and it plugs into a plug on the motherboard, and it's got a screw at the back end of it. So I take the screw out, I look at the back of it, and it actually says 1 terabyte SSD. So it's M.2 NVMe or something. So I Google it on Amazon. It's definitely a hard drive. It's a new type of hard drive. And apparently that one is $158 on Amazon. So I'm thinking, well, how the heck am I supposed to get my data off of that? So I looked on Amazon, and this is not the whole thing. Like this is in a reader, okay? It's I'll just say M2 to USB, adapter. And it's plugged into it and screwed down on the other end. So I plug it in, and there's everything else. So I got everything off of it, because I have things stored in program files that I would like to not have to restart again. So I got everything that was on my C drive I got off. So I now have a 1 terabyte external hard drive. But I got thinking about this. I got lucky that apparently these aren't wonderful to use as external hard drives. Not the application that I would be using for it. They're not good for heavy loads. Like a lot of files, reading and write. Reading is good. Writing is bad apparently. But I have my USB hubs. Each one's got 10 ports in it, and I figure if I can get 10 of these, stand them up vertically, and I got like one cooling fan blowing on them, that'll save me a crap load of space and a lot of heat generation in my bedroom, right? I'm not going to replace them all, but if I have a hard drive fail, then I might just replace it with one of those. Get another adapter. The adapter was only like $13, and it showed up the day after I ordered it, so I got it pretty quick. So I might go that route, but these are more expensive. I can't remember how it was put, something more expensive per gigabyte or something like that, I don't know. So I've got like anywhere from 8 to 16 I've only got one 16 terabyte hard drive. Everything else is usually 10. I got a couple 8s, everything else is pretty much 10. I got a bunch of 2s, but if they ever fail, I'll replace them with 10s as well. So I would have to look and see what a 10 terabyte gum stick would cost, see if it's cost effective to actually replace stuff with. But I think that would be a better option, because there's so much, the advantages of using those over the hard drive enclosures, keeping everything cool, I think would be good. But I don't know. So new technology, right? Everything's smaller, but at least I was able to get everything off, so I'm good. All my files are safe, everything off of both hard drives until the next crash. But it's gonna be a while, still putting programs in, and I decided now's the time to upgrade to PHP 8, so I have a lot of debugging to do now. Not as much as I expected. I expected every friggin' page to fail, but no, I'm actually not getting that many. And most of the errors I'm getting are just kind of repeats of the same thing on each page, so I already know how to fix them. I can't think of anything else. I guess that's it. I'm enjoying another hot day today, and we have a chance of tornadoes tonight, so I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I saw the warning last night pop up. I said, no, I don't want to see that. But I was looking at the radar. We do have storms coming at us. They're not too far away, but as long as they're not super severe, I'm okay. I guess that's it. The neighbor's cutting the grass next door, so he's getting kind of close, so it's getting kind of loud in here anyway. So I guess that's it for this update.